Jake Mason back again, and with the amazing Terry Thrasher.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to see the Team Canada men taking the court for me, and it's facing off against the Team Argentina men this morning.
I'm gonna in advance. So Canada in their bold as you can, hot pink uniforms. And then we've got Argentina in their white and gold, which is hot. I mean, these guys, everyone's looking good. But from up here, a heads up, we can barely see their numbers from where we're positioned in the stadium. The reflection of the lights and all the different things. So forgive us in advance when, luckily Terry knows all the Canadians and I stalk the Argentinians online. So we'll do our best to get you the accurate names and numbers. But it is definitely, I cannot see that gold on the back very well. I have to really focus on the back of the Argentina uniforms. And the Canadians, it depends on how the light hits them.
Yeah, I mean...
From where we are. We hope at home you can see things a little better, but
yeah,
we'll do our best to keep you posted.
Yeah, boy, it is... I can make out the numbers on the Team Canada jerseys, but I am having a hard time actually reading the names. So, yeah, it's... I mean, like we said, I at least know who these folks are. Played with and against quite a few of them for a little while. Team Argentina, we've got a few returning members from last year. So yeah, we should be okay. We'll manage just fine.
We'll manage. We have these handy dandy, amazing player profiles and spreadsheets that you know that I have not looked at once. I'm that kid who just didn't do my homework but took the test and managed to pass by just fine. We'll see. This is life is a test. Currently happening on the other courts, we have the Hong Kong women's. Oh, there is a women's match already. It's Australia women's versus Hong Kong women's. First women's match of the day. On the other court, we have the Mexico men's team versus Italy. Italy and Mexico are going up on the other court. We are recording these matches, and we will be posting them on the YouTubes later. At World Dodgeball Federation. Look us up and subscribe on YouTube at World Dodgeball Federation. On Instagram at World Dodgeball Federation. We will be doing bonus content all day. Interviews, player interviews. We've got some behind the scenes with all the teams walking into the opening ceremony. All sorts of stuff. So at World Dodgeball Federation and on YouTube, on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, and send us your questions on the Instagram. If you click on our Instagram story, there's a question box. Send us your questions. You can message us, but that is a great place to send us questions. Coming up, we have a men's match here. We are starting right now. Argentina versus Canada. I'm going to turn the microphone over to Mr. Terry Thrasher and Bill Fair and let you guys go.
Yeah, thank you, Jake. You can hear there are some loud fan bases here for the Canadians, who've got a sizable contingent who followed them here, as well as Argentina, who we heard pretty loud last night, although this time it's the women in the stands cheering on the men. And Bill, got any thoughts going into this match?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing just how well Argentina does this year. I want to see, what they brought to the table, what's changed up for them, right? Like every team that comes back is always better than they were the previous year. I'm excited to see the progress Argentina's made. I'm excited to see the changes that Canada's made. Right, they're got a substantial number of changes as well on the roster. Right, this isn't exactly the same team as last year. Right.
Yeah, there's definitely some continuity. This year's captain, Matt Garcia-Silveira, who's part of the rush there, he's returning from the team. Oh, and wow, did we see a couple of grabs there right off the hop from Argentina? Oh, but I think
he was on the line.
Yeah, I think that's what the refs are signaling, is that at least one of those catches might not count because the player was on the line. That is number 30, Agustin Garaventa.
Yeah, you can't even touch the line here. Unlike formats like Elite Dodgeball or some other forms, if you even touch the line, you're out. So don't go near it.
Yeah, although, I mean, it can be tough when you know you can make a play like he just made there. I mean, yeah.
Very frustrated there. Definitely frustrated with the fact that wasn't in fact a catch.
All right, so bit of a break for Team Canada, who's still going to be 6 strong. And yeah, we see John Wu in the left corner, Jason Mergler in the right corner, putting the pressure on Argentina. It's going to come to the line and try and take that space away.
I think we talked about this earlier, I think yesterday. Yeah, Canada on defense has so much pressure, right? A lot of pump fakes coming out from those two corners, really making it easy for their middles and making it hard on the Argentina team to get to that line and make the throw they want to with the pump fakes they want and force the moves. So, you know, that defensive posture is a big thing for Canada.
And especially when the other team, if they're used to playing against some of these players, they know that those counters can come out very quickly, very quick releases. Oh, we see some back and forth. Hustis just getting under that ball at the line, and somehow not that much damage actually done.
Doing a great job of staying alive here on the Canadian side. Like being in dangerous territory and essentially getting balls. A lot of their plays seem to be forcing, defensively forcing the other team to make plays, but being in control of the situation and making the dodges and reading the play very well. So shout out to this Canadian team.
And there we see Garcia Silveira tagged out. You can also see Canada has started doing something over the last year where even when they're down one ball, that one player who comes out high on defense seems to be on the attack a lot more than you might expect. And now Argentina down to 2 players.
Yeah, that last play where they traded 1 for 1. You're down players like this, you can't really be taking trades. Let's see what happens here. Oh, no balls to the Canadian side. So no risk there of getting tagged out from a counter. They can't connect on that play.
Yeah, but they seem to be confident in their dodging. There we see some charge counters, and I think
confidence coming from that Canadian side, right? They can take those trades, come out. You know, 3v1 is easier than 4v2.
Right, and there Hustis finishes off the point. We see we see a slight exasperation on the side of the Argentinians, but they honestly they played that opening point pretty well. Ruiz, the last man standing, but I would say that went pretty well. They whittled the Canadian side down to 3.
Yeah, no, this Argentinian side looks solid. I'm looking forward to seeing more of this match.
Yeah, and like we said, I feel like already after just 1 point, to me they're a lot stronger than they looked last year in Los Angeles. So kudos to them for putting in some work.
Let's see how we know Canada typically is very aggressive off the rush. Let's see. I'm really going to pay attention to see what Argentina's doing and what kind of style they're bringing to this opening rush, because you kind of have to put pressure on Canada, otherwise they're going to be taking these opening shots for free. Oh, that ball was not checked.
And I think that might be what the referees are talking about.
Okay. No, it looks like. Okay. The refs didn't call that.
And Canada, I think the referees might not have been ready. So the second center official is just asking them to go back. See Ruiz in the left corner for Argentina asking questions.
Yeah. The last match, both teams got in trouble for self-reffing, so look for the refs to shut that down very quickly. The refs are there for a reason. The players just have to be players, and yelling across the court isn't going to get you anything but a warning or a card.
And you see some good, accurate shots from the Canadians. And they've already got Argentina down to 2 players, while Canada's still 5 strong.
Canada's great in these high-pressure situations where a lot of balls are moving. They make their play, they examine the court, they get their move. So they're looking to force those situations, especially as a veteran team between these two.
And now we see the attack from Wu missing, and a good jump and a
nice
kill
shot.
confirmed. Wu was very aggressive, and he paid for that one.
Yeah, good read.
Yeah, Agustin Garaventa, again coming up with some good plays for his side.
Yeah, Garaventa chested him. That was read that the foot shot was coming, jumped over it, and made that shot. But good on Wu, like reading the play, getting down, and going for that catch. I mean, a number of times you see that play where someone goes down for the chest and it bounces up. So it might have been a deflection catch with the way he positioned himself. So still a good play by Wu, especially if he comes out in a trade there, right? It's worth the risk. It's 5-on-1. And there we go, seeing the Canadian side clinch the game number 2, putting themselves up 2-0.
And we're seeing Canada a couple of times. They appear to have a signal where both corners charge, even though they're on defense. And we saw there I believe that was both Hustis and Mergler just immediately running up and taking the shot at about the same time. I think both connecting as well, so that seems to be a bit of a set play for Canada on defense.
Yeah, we typically run a similar play in the U.S. where one person left, if you give them the space, they're so far up, they take their shot, you both just know that you're going to charge them down. If they miss that first shot, or it's not on that person directly in front of you, we're just going to charge them down and take that space as quickly as possible. It's one of the most efficient shots. You're more likely to hit it, force a bad dodge, force them out of bounds, something like that. Works pretty well.
And speaking of working pretty well, Garcia Silveira knocked out on the shot. And there a finger block from Martin Dutil in his first year on the Canadian national squad, playing out of the province of Quebec. I think the first Quebec member on the full Canadian national team, so good showing from him.
Big block there. Also, I think this is the first time the Argentina side has a player advantage in the game. So let's see if they can capitalize on that, making 2-1.
Yeah, they're on defense for now. I think just one hit there.
Shortening that lead. Canada looking for their third game. Trying to open up this match. Almost a catch. Ooh! Trips over a player that was on the ground. We already saw a lot of injuries today. I don't want to see any more.
Yeah, but it looks like Tavella is okay.
Yeah, it just looks like he got a little jammed up there, but should be good.
And this time they make sure on Garaventa before he can make a play, so Canada now bringing it down to just 3 on the side of Argentina.
Okay, gets a blocker on it there. We'll see. Maybe not.
Yeah, the refs are talking again. Is that Ruiz still on the corner? I think so, yep. So I think they're just talking about whether he's confirmed in the game or not, and they are saying, nope, that was an out. So may have gotten through the ball and nicked him on the way by, something like that.
Yeah. Dodgeball's a sport of integrity. You'll see the refs don't have to call many people out. Usually the players will take their own out. Sometimes it's close. Players will, a lot of adrenaline in the sport. You don't always feel it. So, benefit of the doubt for the most part, but, the refs will see things sometimes. Have to make the call, especially if it's close, a lot of ground in a player or, was that this, was that that, so.
And you can see on the sideline, Coach Victor Gravilli shouting things to his team. And so far, Canada surviving on the offensive. Multiple throws coming in from Argentina.
Okay, they're down to 2 balls. This is where it's going to start to slow down, right? Each player has a blocking ball, but not anymore.
Yeah,
He survives that play, though.
Yeah, some good. I think he may have hit the line. Yeah.
Ooh, that's going to be a warning.
Yeah, it does look like.
Yeah, you can't be talking to the refs like that.
It does look like.
Frustrated, but that's not the way to take it out.
Yeah, so could be a warning from the officials to the team. Leonardo Tomasi possibly getting a little too emotional early on in this match.
Yeah. Okay, we have about 12 minutes in this half.
I think they didn't stop the clock quite as early as they should have, so we may see a bit of time put back on there, but in any case, we're gonna see the clock reset. They've got 9 hours and 47 minutes on it right now. I think that'll change, but
Hopefully.
yeah.
I do not want to be commentating one match for 9 hours and 47 minutes.
I mean, if it's a really good match.
I think the players will just be laying there by the end of the second hour.
Yeah, a tournament like this is demanding enough with just the 40-minute matches. In fact, a lot of people who play in other leagues might not be used to playing more than 20 or 30 minutes in a match as it is. If you've only done kind of weekly games for, an hour or so per week, then certainly tournaments like this are a whole other grind.
Oh my God, yeah. Going from, local leagues to a tournament scene, part of a tournament is just having that endurance to go through. So getting into a tournament scene, even if you don't feel confident, you'll get your confidence through just playing a lot, right? Getting that endurance up. Those two will build with each other. Just throw yourself in there. Find your local league. Reach out to WDBF or your local organization and see what's around. Go play. Go have fun.
For sure. We do have confirmation that Team Argentina was warned for arguing with the referees, so hopefully that'll help them remember. You gotta show the proper respect to the referees. And yeah, we had a question yesterday about what kind of training you do for dodgeball. Certainly if you're looking to compete at a tournament level, even if it's just a one day or a weekend tournament, that conditioning that you were just talking about, really important, because I mean, you're going to have to be able to mentally focus, and you're going to have to be able to perform athletically at a pretty high level for a sustained period of time. It can be tricky.
Oh, absolutely. The difference between like my first year playing tournaments and now, like going to my first like elite nationals was the most exhausting thing, and now it's, you know, just another day in a tournament. Like, it's amazing how used to it you get at a certain point.
And there we saw Canada on that offensive. They do not connect, and instead see Argentina back on the offensive. They hit out Nathaniel Zanke there. He's gesturing like he kind of tried to squeeze that ball but wasn't able to.
A lot of pressure there coming up from Mergler.
Yeah, now this is Ezekiel Tomasi. Still holding down the fort for his side. Two Canadians left to try and deal with. Waddingham and Mergler. Mergler, longtime Team Canada member. Kyle Waddingham, this is his first year on the national squad.
Yeah. Surprised they went for double team there.
Yeah.
But he did counter and give them another ball on defense. I guess they were confident that their one-on-one pressure would keep them safe on the return. But yeah, interesting to see that with, you know, 3 balls, they were willing to risk opening up to just end the game there.
Yeah, I feel like they probably thought that the shots they had were worth it. Otherwise, yeah, you'd kind of expect when there are 2 players remaining, each of them would like to keep a ball. That way they can protect themselves, they can be ready to take shots if need be. But we are going to see if Ezekiel Tomasi can bring this back and put Team Argentina on the board.
Also, send your questions to the World Dodgeball Federation or USA Dodgeball Instagram. There are stories on both, I believe, that with question fields. If you ask them, Jake Mason will come back up and ask it to us or send it to us via chat. I can't get the YouTube live stream comments up at the moment, but if you are asking questions, I will be answering them once I do get it. So right now I can't answer them. I'm looking out for you, though. I'm on it.
Yeah, we'll do our best to catch up in between the matches. So still a lot of conversation happening down in the court. We've got just under 12 minutes remaining. Canada still currently up 2-0 and hoping to get that 3rd point on the board. Oh, actually, is the point over? All right, maybe that point did end already, because we've got 6 per side on there. And so, yeah, I guess in the discussion, it seems like maybe Canada did connect with Tomasi. We'll have to see if maybe the sideline report can get us the information. Martin Dutil missing on the opening rush, but both sides still 6 strong. You see Hustis providing pressure for Canada and getting under those balls coming his way from Argentina. And I think, yeah, Zanke was hit out. Couldn't quite block that shot cleanly, but he is the only casualty so far on the point.
So Norway, just for confirmation, we didn't talk about this earlier. Norway did lose to New Zealand earlier, 16-0. That's a result we didn't get to. Hong Kong did beat Australia. So those are 2 other results that have happened so far. Keep trying to fill in as we can with the other results from the other courts as well.
And those were both men's matches, is that correct?
Both men's matches, yeah. Right now on the other courts we have, looks like New Zealand and Italy on the men's side, and then on the women's side looks like we have Hong Kong and Australia, if I'm not mistaken.
Right now we've got a 1-for-1.
Big catch there.
Wow. And now Argentina certainly in good position to get their first points of this match. And a 1-for-1.
That's the advantage of having the player advantage. You can take those trades, and it's just beneficial for you for the most part.
Yeah, Rodrigo Ruiz willing to take that on Hustis, and now it's just John Woo. We hear from a bit of the Canadian contingent the Woo cheer. John Woo, bit of a Canadian hero after his performance in 2017 in the Canadian-hosted championships.
I will never forget that catch. Was that him, or was that Ranican with that final catch? He was involved with that play, right? He got the hand on it?
That was actually Garcia Silveira and Ranican, but
Got it.
Woo had some phenomenal moments when he was left alone on the court, grinning like a madman while he was doing it. I think that was his first year on the team, too, so. And now Argentina willing to go for that trade again. Woo stepping into that throw.
Nice pump fake with no ball by the Argentinian corner, number 3. That's
Matias Resignada.
yeah. Did a good, even though he didn't have a ball, the way he postured his body just sent Woo, taking that step back.
Yeah, even the empty hand fakes can potentially distract a player just enough to throw off what they're trying to do. Woo trying to absorb that pressure while he throws. And I think
Argentinian side is getting a little frustrated here. I think they're making contact, but even from this perspective, it looks like they're, Woo's been staying safe.
he is a very good blocker. And then you see 2 shots. He spends both balls, but unable to connect. And that return shot does miss.
What's number 23's name? That's Tomasi. Tomasi's getting pretty frustrated.
All right, a little cross body shot from Woo. And the refs saying that was a connection as well.
Argentina's side is getting very frustrated. That's not the way you want to be playing. Got a 5-against-1 lead. Let's see if they can close it out, though. It's not over.
Yeah, and these are the moments where your mental strength can be tested. You don't want to let a player from the other team bring back a one-on-several. That can be devastating for your momentum and can really, get inside your team's head.
This Argentinian team plays with a lot of passion, right? Like you hear it in the stands when they're playing. There's a lot of emotion and passion in their play, and we're seeing it on the court as well. But gotta stay level-headed.
Now pace a little bit slow. Woo's been able to come to the line and attack pretty often. We see the cross-court shot missing. Woo coming up, but still under pressure. And there's another conversation.
A timeout called by the Canadian side, it seems.
Yeah, I can see this as a good time to spend that timeout. Woo might be getting a little tired. He's got to do some work out there.
Yeah, I think you get 90-second timeouts. Is that correct?
Yes, he said confidently. I don't remember the exact duration of them. That's for sure, but
does give them a little bit of a breather. Just over 7 minutes in this half. They'd like to go in, 4-0 into the next half at least.
Yeah, Team Argentina huddling up as a group. We can see the ball retrievers, the coaches, and the players in there. Meanwhile, Woo currently by himself on the court. He was previously talking with Coach Victor Gravilli, possibly about the approach to this upcoming sequence where John Woo still 1-on-2.
Yeah, he's got ball control to start too. He's got 4 balls on the court. Look for him to probably, let's see, what do you think he's going to do here? I think he's going to take like a 40-foot shot, just try to nail someone straight on and stay safe. I feel like he's going to try and play this from a defensive counter point of view more so than a straight-up offensive point of view. He doesn't want to get that, that charge that we see the Canadian team does to others, down to himself, like give him that opening.
Yeah, we're going to see. He blocks a shot. He decides to go on the offensive. He tags Tomasi. And now it's just Resignada and Woo. Good dodge by Resignada. Comes to the line. And he misses low. Woo now on the back and forth. See those ball retrievers from Canada very proactively. Just bounce passing that ball back into Woo's hand.
Let's see, 1-on-1. Good movement by Woo, but good dodging for the Argentina side. What's his name again? I'm sorry.
That is Matias Resignada.
Resignada. That whistle was not for this court. That was for another court.
Yeah, it's a little tough to tell, but we can see that if the refs aren't actually gesturing toward anything. Wu coming to the line, missing low. He's popping back up from those blocks pretty quickly and on the attack, and he...
Oh, connected his face.
Yeah, that ball coming in just over the blocker. And John Wu converting I believe that was a 1-on-5 when at the time he was left alone.
Yeah, that was a 1-on-5 comeback. That's very impressive.
And I think we're going to see... I mean, Argentina's going to need to kind of not let that rattle them too much. Like we were saying, that can be really hard. That can feel like a total momentum killer. And they were playing really well on that point, but...
I mean, listen, we've all been there where a ball looks like it hit someone. You can be frustrated. You just got to trust your opponent. The refs are there for a reason. There's plenty of them. There's cameras everywhere. People are here to play with integrity. No one wants to have, like, their championship or their win, have an asterisk on it, right?
And just meanwhile, just a big catch off the rush there. That was another big grab by Garaventa, who kind of caught one point blank while holding another ball. And that knocked Garcia Silveira, or actually, I think that was Waddingham out. And Mergler taken out as well.
There seems to be players that catch with no ball in hand, or players that catch with a ball in hand. There doesn't seem to be too many players that can catch with both styles, right? It seems like players kind of fall into one camp or the other.
Yeah, it probably has something to do with the way you use your hands and your body to control that ball as it comes in.
Yeah.
And that cross-court shot from Tom Singh, throwing outside his body.
That's Tomasi stepping out again. Still looking frustrated, but hopefully they can get themselves on the board soon. I think that'll be a turning point for them. Once they get that first win, I think that'll change things for them significantly. I think this is their first match overall. Same thing with the Canadian side. So, they haven't proved themselves yet, like no one has. So they're looking to get their momentum, get their feet under them. So let's see what they can do.
Yeah, even though Canada's been a strong performer in recent years, I know they're going to want to start off this tournament well and set themselves up for a potential medal run later on. Argentina, I think, just going to be looking to play. Oh, and that was, I think, a shot toward Ruiz on the corner, and yeah, also a knockout onto Ezekiel Tomasi. And so we just have Garaventa. And that was a 1-for-1, I think. Yeah, Dutil knocked out as well, and it's just Matias Resignada, once again, the last man left standing for Team Argentina against Tom Singh and Garcia Silveira. And Garcia Silveira there connecting as Resignada tried to go high. Canada putting up that 5th point. It is 4 minutes, 36 seconds left in the first half. Canada up 5-0.
So, by the way, I did finally get the live stream comments up. So if you do have questions about the sport, please send them our way, and we'll do our best to answer them as we get a little bit of time. So,
yeah, if there's another long referees conclave, we'll for sure try to squeeze in some comments and some answers.
Another timeout in a 5v1, and they want to use all those 90 seconds to give that player that breath of air.
Yeah, we see the officials talking a bit at the center court again. Both teams taking the opportunity to huddle a little bit. I don't think I saw a timeout called, so I think this might just be a between-the-point chance to talk things out.
Yeah, this is the refs looking like they're talking to the coaches and just trying to get things, calm down a little bit, right?
Yeah, we've seen Argentina get a little bit chatty with the referees, but I mean, last year in Los Angeles, Canada had a little bit of trouble with that as well. Sometimes that they were warned by the officiating staff to take it a little easier. So both sides, obviously, it's important, and it looks like they're actually just attending to the lines on the court right now. It looks like the clear line on the Canadian side getting some work, maybe some fresh tape being put down.
Yeah, these courts are all sectional. So they're talking to some of the refs yesterday. A lot these things have been pulling apart on back pedals of all things. So player safety is the utmost concern. It's why they have mops and sponges between every single game. They're going out and drying these courts. Apparently they get very slippery when wet. Even more so than regular gym floors, right, with that laminate or hardwood. So making sure they're not going to let the course deteriorate and make sure that the players' safety is really kept in mind.
Yeah, medical staff on hand as well. And there we see, I think, a back and forth again, knocking a couple of players out. That's Norberto Tavella knocked out, as well as Ruiz. And the referee's talking one more time.
Sorry, 1 second. Dealing with a technical issue here.
All right, well, Bill's not going to miss much while he deals with that. Meanwhile, I'll mention that Canada is still 6 strong. And I think play is being signaled to start again. The shot clock is on Argentina. And we see a shot connecting with Rezignata. And meanwhile, Canada very active without balls in hand. You see them kind of moving forward and back. Maybe trying to draw a bit of extra attention their way. Garcia Silveira coming out high, trying to protect that ball as it rolls over to his sideline. Ball retriever sending it back in. Garcia Silveira tagged out. Zanke hit out as well. Now it's just Richard Tom Singh. He will be by himself. He's got a big throw. He's going to need to use it here. It goes outside his body toward the opposite corner. This time toward the middle player. And now I think he's going to look to come up again a little bit carefully. He's watching the pressure coming from across. He elects to go straight in front of him. Oh, and I think he touched the line there at the back. He knew it as soon as he did it. But he is down, and Argentina forces their first point. They may have gotten the line violation at the end to close it out, but they connected with some big shots to set that up. And so they are on the board, 5-1. Still 3.5 minutes to play in the first half. And maybe a little bit of momentum for the Argentinian side. Fans for Argentina, very loud. Just a little bit between us and the court. Maybe you're hearing them as well. And we see the Argentina sideline encouraging the noise. And the referee is starting us off. And we see Zanke, I believe that was, actually managing to slide on the rush. Mergler hit out on the opening exchange, though. So Canada may be finding a way to do the slide that they find is their preferred way of attacking the rush, getting that ball in hand and into the hands of their throwers as quickly as possible. Hughes hit out, Zanke as well. Good low shot right on his knee, and Argentina finding their accuracy in these last couple of points.
We talked about this earlier, where once they got their feet under them, they got that first win. It's almost like a pressure off your shoulder. So look to see Argentina, start to get those gears, running, right?
Yeah, it can easily help put you in your comfort zone, make you feel more confident. Maybe just loosen up a little bit too. And there we see a shot coming across from Tomasi, missing, and another from the other Tomasi. I have no idea if they're directly related. I'm going to guess yes. Let's just imagine yes.
Yeah. Everyone is. One big family.
And there we see one of the shots coming through. I believe that was Garcia Silveira connecting on a catch. Yeah. Yeah, so Waddingham knocked out. Some good lateral moves from the Canadian players to dodge. And we saw Argentina attacking Wu as he was receiving a ball from the retrievers. That can be a good point, or a good opportunity to attack. Make sure your opponent's paying attention and ready. And there we see Tomasi tagged out in the corner. And referees talking again. I think the conversation might have been whether the balls collided in the air. Saw a hand gesture that looked like that from Team Argentina's side.
Ignore the play clock right now. We're actually at 1:54. The clock paused. The one on the screen is a little bit out of sync.
And Argentina. All right, so it looks like Garcia Silveira out in that exchange. So I guess once more, we're going to have just John Wu there. As he pitches those balls off the court and over to the retrievers on the side, and he's 1-on-5 again. You see a fake trying to draw out movement. He goes across the court toward Ruiz, and missing. Resignata with the other corner. Wu coming right up to the line, throwing from a little bit farther back than the center line, and backing off as the pressure comes in. Argentina to the line. An initial shot comes out from Wu, and I think he got tagged there. Yep.
Okay, Argentina with their second point.
They seem fired up to me.
Yeah, I think they're a little bit excited. This is what that Argentina team is known for, is the passion and emotion that they show in their play.
Yeah, and if you are an emotional team, once you get on a roll like that, it can be huge for translating those feelings into points. They've got themselves a 2-point streak. They're going to need to see if they can keep it up. Put themselves in favor, I guess, again with the momentum. I think we're just dealing with a bit of noise down on the court as well.
Yeah, sorry, the score on the screen is wrong. It's 5-2. Just a little mistake. We're fixing that now.
And the referees talking once more. Yeah, we got that Team Argentina side down in front of us a little bit. Definitely making noise. It's hard to capitalize on that enthusiasm from the crowd when the play's not actually running, though. There is another extended huddle from the officials over by the scoring table right now. We've still got 1:21 remaining in the first half.
Trying to get the score resolved.
Yeah, if we get word what the conversation's about, we will let you know. But for now, Argentina taking the chance to huddle, talk things over, probably looking to extend their momentum. Canada looking ready on the back line. They're a veteran squad who's been at this for a while.
All right. Score is all set up. Getting into our 8th game now of this match.
And off the rush, I think, yeah, there's a shot catching Waddingham on the foot as he tried to take to the air a little bit. Canada, though, with 5 balls now.
Ooh. Shot went a little high.
Yeah, but Canada still with 4 balls. The burden will be on them to throw. And they come back up to the line. And that's Eustace connecting as Mergler protects him on the retreat.
Does Mergler usually, move to the center like that?
I would say in my experience he often plays in the wing, although he's moved more toward the middle in recent years.
I noticed before with the United States team with players like Andrew Kutcher moving to wing where he was typically playing center last year. So interesting to see player moves and how teams are utilizing players differently this year than
and I think they're saying, yeah, that was a connection. So Resignata showing good survival skills to be in there till the end a couple of times, but this time he was not able to extend that Team Argentina momentum. So Canada getting back on the board with their 6th point.
5 seconds left in this half. Don't ignore the clock on screen. There's 5 seconds left. So they'll start this game off and then immediately go into no block. No matter how much time is left on the clock, we will start another game. Once again, no block. Look for these teams to throw all their balls essentially immediately. When you go into no block, each team starts with 3 balls no matter what, no matter how many balls are currently on their side. So, look to see a lot of action the next 5 seconds.
Yeah, you might as well do whatever offense you can. And on the back and forth. And I think everybody's just trying to check and see whether there were any specific outs. See Captain Garcia Silveira coming up to the center, talking things over with the refs again. So yes, whatever happens, we will be moving to sudden death overtime here to end the first half, where the ball is essentially part of your body. It no longer saves you as a blocking tool, and otherwise the rules are basically the same. And so once again, we get that officials huddle. I think they're just talking about whether any players were actually eliminated before that whistle went. There were only 5 seconds. And Captain Garcia Silveira from Canada talking things over again.
Yeah, a lot of action on that rush. Seems to be a couple of questions. Got to stop the arguing on both sides.
I could see that official coming in and just indicating to the players, don't talk to each other. Generally, it's a talk to us, the refs. We'll be in between things. So still some conversation. Mergler, the
live stream. If you have any questions, please ask us.
Yeah, this is a good question break, I think.
Yeah, let's see. Once again, you can also send your questions to the Instagram account, World Dodgeball Federation. The Instagram story does have a question field, so Jake Mason will come. But also, I'm watching the live stream, despite being on the live stream. So let's see. What are your questions, everybody?
Canada's going to use their... Will Andrusick also on the bench.
So one of the questions was, do the line judges have any other responsibilities than just monitoring the lines? The answer is yes. They will be called into huddles to discuss close plays. They can make the judgment to say, someone was out, but it is up to the middle refs to stop the game, bring it in, and then let them make that call. It's more so up to the mid refs to be making those calls pretty frequently.
Yeah, exactly. Those line judges do get called in for things they see. They can signal things that the referees may have missed, but ultimately those center line refs are the ones with the ultimate responsibility to call the game. And I think we see this huddle breaking. See the players trying to stay loose here in between. One member of Team Argentina just kind of hanging out in the back corner.
So one of the questions was, what happens that time is out? We will always go into no block. So the ball is now an extension of your body. If you block a ball, you're out. Just wraps up the match a bit faster that way. Always happens at the end of any 20-minute half.
And it looks like we are underway again. 2 from the side of Argentina were eliminated on that rush in just 5 seconds. That is Rezignata, and I can't actually tell who the other player in the far corner is, but so Canada coming to the line, and a no-look shot across his body from Garcia Silveira. And we see a couple of grabs back and forth. Canada with a advantage, I think. Tomasi at the back is questioning whether he's out. The referee's talking again. I know Garcia Silveira was hit out and walked off the court. He's headed over to the, I don't know what we call that area right now, the waiting area to get caught back in.
The queue.
But I think Argentina will be down to just their last player in this sudden death point, trying to bring themselves back onto the scoring momentum.
Yeah, one of the comments saying that the refs are struggling, it's, once again, this is a game of integrity. It's up to the players to call themselves out. There's been a lot of close calls, people thinking they got the blocker fully on it, people thinking the other player didn't get the blocker on it, leading to some arguing and some chippiness, but everyone's doing the best they can. The refs are there to be part of plays and really only call outs when no one really knows what happened, and it's up to them to make the right call. They're not there to make every single call possible. There's 6 balls on the court, there's 4 refs. It's just not feasible for having to make every single call.
I think both you and I have done our share of reffing, Bill, and it is a challenge. Certainly if you're ever reffing by yourself in a 6-ball format, you learn to look where the action is likely to be, but it's hard to see everything, certainly. That said, I think now that the ref huddle is broken, Argentina is cheering a bit, huddling a bit. And
they might have called a timeout here.
I don't think they did. I didn't see a signal for that, and Canada just ready on the back line. And so it is going to be up to Facundo Altamirano to bring this back for his side. Canada coming up to the line, putting that pressure on. That is Dutil up at the center. Elects to take the shot, but missing. Zanke drawing out the dodge. Oh, and that was substantially on the line, yeah. Yeah, and you could see there, Altamirano knew he'd stepped on it. And so Canada ends this first half up 7-2.
Let me know if the audio. Let me know if the audio is doing better now. Looking at the live stream. The second half. Sorry about that commercial break. Please let us know in the live stream if the commentating audio is now coming out of both ears. Be much appreciated. Trying to get these issues resolved as we can and as best we can.
I think we see Canada now changing up their personnel a little bit. It looks like we're going to see longtime team members Jeff Snow, Cameron Ranican out there, as well as newcomers to the team, Will Andrusik and Kaylin Estabrooks. Kyle Waddingham still out, and Nathaniel Zanke as well. Meanwhile, Team Argentina still in their sideline huddle. Looks like Coach Vic Gravilli talking with one of the centerline referees a bit. And yeah, we're going to look to get this rolling again. We're going to see if Canada can treat Argentina's 2 points as just a blip and carry on with their offensive, or whether Argentina is going to be able to carve out some momentum for themselves again. They had a couple of stretches of their throws connecting really, really well, and they were able to parlay that into a couple of points. Still in search, I believe, of their first WDBF international level win, and certainly hoping that it'll happen this year.
I'm going to take a moment here. I'm going to look up the score between Canada and Argentina last year. I want to see just how these two teams fared.
Yeah, it's always interesting to be able to compare with the results last year. See if we can assess the relative strength of the teams. And we're about to go again. They are off. No more slide this time on the offensive. And no damage done by either team. But Canada ending up with 4 balls, so they're going to be on the attack. See Tomasi going low to get avoided. I believe Resignata was okay there, that ball bouncing before it finds him. See Renikin and Zanke threatening the huddle, but those throws toward Estabrooks missing. Renikin hit out. And Zanke, I believe, on the double. Snow hit out in the corner as well. No ball to protect himself, but Canada still with 3 in hand. Sorry, Argentina now with 3 players available.
So last year, Canada versus Argentina in the round robin was 21-1 Canada. So like we were talking about before, Argentina stepped it up this year already.
Yeah, we expected to see substantial improvement from their side with that extra year under their belt and some experience on the world stage.
It's clear that they've improved. This team is looking really good.
Canada trying to push the Argentinian team back. And there we see some shots going across the court toward Tomasi, but not finding the mark. In the middle there, Kalen Estabrooks has a big throw. He's got a lot of years of experience as a catcher in baseball. And I think on the back and forth, that one popping out of bounds before Estabrooks could be saved. So he did trade, but as we mentioned before, when you're down players, trades aren't really what you want to be doing.
Yeah, it was a 2-for-1 trade though, so it was just about even. But still, you really don't want to be trading when you're down players.
I mean, 2 for 1, the math checks out, and here we see Waddingham knocked out as well. So now it's just going to be Will Andrusik in his first year on the team, playing out of Ottawa, Ontario, and he does get hit. Argentina, 3rd point on the board.
Okay, 7-3. Canada, Argentina. Argentina's doing well. When they get that roll and they start feeling good, they carry it. They get down on themselves a little bit, but let's see if they can stabilize as we go through. It's only day 2.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this is their first match. They're gonna huddle and regroup after this. They're gonna make adjustments. We saw even Team America were clearly making adjustments after they won against Great Britain. No team is gonna be happy with how they're playing match 1. It's just how it is.
And I think off the rush, we see a hit onto Tom Singh. Argentina showing they got the throws to hang with Team Canada. Now Canada is going to look to show that they've got the coordination to win those points. And I think that was Estabrooks traded out again, but Renikin on a catch. That's going to bring back Tom Singh. Kind of an easy catch for him. He was just shadowing his player who was up a little higher. Renikin known for good grips. And we see a couple of throws missing the mark on both directions. Snow now taking aim, and I think that one bouncing before it connected. So in the back and forth there a little bit. Neither team losing a player recently. Snow threatening the huddle and taking a shot and making one hit, but also getting hit out himself. Some active footwork from Snow.
A lot of shots coming out of that last play. I think 2 players went out on both sides, so a lot of action coming out of that.
That Manzella getting knocked out in the exchange, and there's one as well onto the back of Altamirano. Renikin saying, hey, don't pick up that ball. Yeah. All right, he backs off.
Putting enough pressure on him, not letting him get that easy. And I wouldn't be surprised if Renikin even took that shot. Last year, watching him take some of these shots as players came up to the line, he just has such confidence in hitting his target.
Yeah, we saw Ruiz challenging him to throw it a little bit, it looked like, but that's dicey against a player like Renikin. Garcia, Silvera, no, that's Dutil, sorry, avoiding a lot of it, and Drusik with a big grab. And it's just Resignata once again going lateral and high, avoiding those balls. Now he's got all but one of them.
Staying, what a dodge there by the last Argentinian player. Who's that again? That's Resignata?
That is correct.
Yeah, he's been making some moves. He's looking great out here on this court. I've been super impressed by him in this match. He's staying composed. He's doing a lot of things right. I'm a fan of him.
Yeah, haven't seen him get Haven't seen him get quite as emotionally up as some of his teammates. He stayed composed, like you said. He's been the last man standing a few times now, and I'd say making a good name for himself here.
Yeah. Dare I compare him to Hashimoto? No, it's similar in that regard. Confident and.
Ranikan!
Cross court.
Ranikan.
60-foot shot.
I think Ranikan was shadowing and looking for another catch, but he's mad at himself for dropping that one. You can see that in his body language this time.
We got just about 15 minutes in this second half. Score is 7-3. This is sorry about that.
Another referee conversation going on.
So we're sorry about the audio issues, by the way. We're working on fixing them. We'll see if we can get them resolved after this match a bit more.
So hopefully in the meantime you can see this action and hear us talking about it. And we see Rezignata still avoiding those shots. He's coming up to the line under a little bit of pressure from Tom Singh and Dutil. That shot blocked cleanly.
He's doing a great job of, making the play he wants to make, but knowing where the next play is going to come from against him, right? Canada's looking to make a counter, make a trade here because they can, right? They can take a one-on-one trade and come out with a victory. But, Rezignata is doing a good job of not letting them get that.
Dutil, some close calls, but he's been able to block successfully. That one missing a little bit wide from Rezignata.
Yeah. He's taking safe shots, too. He's trying to get the feet. Everyone's got a blocking ball on the other side, so it's he gets tagged there. Good work, though, this is his first time playing, right, with this team? I don't think he was here last year, was he?
I believe that's correct. And, his conditioning, I'm sure, is being tested in this match.
Yeah,
he's put in more minutes on the court, I think, than any of his teammates by a decent margin right now.
Yeah, he's got the hours clocked for sure. And he's doing work out there. Even if he's not coming back with the win, he's getting those outs. He's making progress, toward a comeback, right? So if his team can get some earlier outs, and he's last in, I think he's going to have an easier time. If they set him up for a 2-on-1, I think, I'd still feel pretty confident in his ability. But this Canadian team is still full of veterans. So, anything's possible. But, yeah, it's still a tough match for the new player.
Canada leaving a ball behind at the line, and then having to come up and play really aggressively to recover it. So far, so good. And Canada now huddling up a little bit. They've got that 6-on-5 player edge. And Ranikan struck out.
Nice move by that right corner of the Argentina team. Going up, taking that dodge down and immediately jumping up out of that position. That takes a lot of skill to do. And so, good move by him.
Gets exhausting after a while, too. So, once again, that conditioning definitely strained in an event like this.
Anyone that's done burpees knows they're not fun.
And there's a tag on the far side. That was Tavea knocked out once again. Argentina, though, at the line. They go toward Tom Singh and are unable to knock him out.
And just to be clear, even if Argentina doesn't win this match, their match score is still important. Every game matters. It is one of the main tiebreakers. And a lot of catches and plays there by the Canadian side, and that's it.
Yeah.
We'll steal their 9th point.
That was a pretty quick finish. We saw Waddingham there with the catch that popped up off his body a little bit, and he was able to come down with it. We saw a good clean shot from Canada to end that one toward the feet of the last remaining player. And some of these top teams can be pretty explosive. We saw that pretty much ended in a matter of maybe 6 seconds.
Yeah. 6-on-1, you can take some more risky shots like that, right? You can not play hero so much as, it was a low shot. He didn't put it on chest, didn't put it somewhere he could catch. He can take that risk. I think there was still another ball on that side for them. They could play man-on-man. So good shot by him, recognizing the situation and taking a calculated risk there.
Yeah, now up 9-3 with just over 13 minutes remaining in the match. Both teams going to be cognizant of the plus-minus here. Waddingham hit out off the rush. That's a good shot from the Argentinian side. Playing the rush pretty well, I'd say, overall. And now this time, Canada going toward the middle. And once again, knocking Norberto Tavella out. And we see a couple of shots whiffing. Snow and Zanke still up at the line. Covering their team on the defensive. Canada huddling about what they're going to do on defense. And
ooh, big shot. Gets over that blocking ball and knocks it up into his own face, but it's a good place to put that ball.
yeah, connecting with Zanke. Argentina now with the 5-on-4 player edge. Estabrooks threatening up at the line, but not electing to take that shot. We see a lot of movement from the Argentinian side, too, as they look to see where those throws are coming from. It can be close. Moving around a bit like that to give yourself an edge on dodging, make that throw harder to tell where exactly to aim it, can be pretty important for just maximizing your chances of staying alive.
Canada's doing a great job also of just keeping that, like, they're just not giving them the throw line at all, right? If you give the other team the throw line, you know, you can still dodge backwards. If you're on the back line, you're not making that move, right? You'll be out of bounds.
And
you're buying themselves an extra dimension of movement, and that's so vital.
We saw Ruiz coming up for a ball that was kind of trapped in up toward the line. Canada did not want him to have it, but the thing is, even though that ball's not in hand, that potentially still counts in terms of who has to make the throws.
2 connections there. Maybe 4-on-2 now.
No surprise that Matias Resignado, one of the players, still on the court.
Yeah. Let's see if they can get an out or two. Oh, but Resignado gets... both of them stepped out of bounds.
I think that was a catch by Tom Singh, though, on Resignado's shot. So he will not be the last man standing. This time it'll be Nahul Metzler. And that first shot caught him off the block. And yeah, he's acknowledging that one got me in the chest.
Looks like something happened before that throw, though. That they recalled the play.
Yeah, so there may have been something that stopped the play before that throw was released, meaning that would not be an out. And play will reset to the situation as it was when the whistle went. I think Canada just looking for clarification on how many balls they should have in hand. And Metzler alone now. Does get tagged on, I think, the 4th of 4 balls. So Canada putting up their 10th point. Just under 11 minutes to go in the second half. Showing some good accuracy on those throws toward the end. Argentina's had their opportunities, though. Off the opening rush, they've often been able to come away one player up, which can be an important edge. Give yourself every little advantage you can find.
Yeah, no, this Canadian team is looking great right now. Like, they're playing their style, right? Like, they're keeping that pressure on defense. They're forcing the other team to come up and play to their pace.
And that time we saw their pace working out well on the rush, as they were able to knock Metzler out immediately.
Argentina side with 4 balls. Let's see what play they come out with here. See, that pressure is still so good, though, from that Canadian side. They're forcing them to make, like, 35-foot shots. Right? They're not getting that line. They're not getting pump fakes. They feel too pressured.
And it looks like that pressure actually created an expiry of the shot clock. So on those 10-second, when you have 10 seconds to throw, if your team doesn't actually let one go or draw out a throw from the other team, you have to forfeit all of the balls.
Oh, and Canada can't connect on that either.
Yeah, not able to spend those 6 balls as effectively as they'd like, although...
There it is, though. And there's another. Tomasi tries to take his corner out with that shot, but can't connect on it. Instead gets a blocking ball.
Manzeo knocked out, and there's another shot connecting. Tomasi out as well, and I think on the back and forth. Metzler letting go of that shot right as he was hit out. I mean, one thing to say is if the ball that hits you is still live, there are situations where you may want to take that shot, and I I mean, you're up that far anyway. If the ball that hit you is still alive, might as well take a shot at somebody on the other team before you get knocked out.
Yeah, while that ball is still in the air, you can make that throw. Second that ball dies, though, and you know it dies, and you make a throw, that is a penalty, though. Like you are not allowed to throw it after you are known to be out.
And that was Canada's point. They are up 11-3. We are halfway through the second half, 10:04 remaining in the half. And let's see if Canada can keep up their recent momentum. Off the rush, Waddingham delaying a bit and taking a shot, but missing low. Argentina is going to huddle up, but under pressure from Andrusic and Dutil. And they connect. And Dutil connected with on the return. So 1 for 1 there. And Argentina taking the line again, and I think that's a 1 for 1 again. And Rezignata hit out again on another shot, so actually a 2 for 1 in Canada's favor. They're up 4 players to 3.
Yeah, Rezignata not on the field though. Let's see what this Argentina side can do. Another one tagged out. This Canadian side is looking solid. Their shots are hitting, and they're hitting hard.
Yeah, Altamirano there not able to elude it, and so you see a hard shot on the... Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty aggressive play from Zanke. He took a shot, then he was in dangerous territory. And yeah, Argentina didn't miss that one.
Yeah, Tomasi's taking a lot of shots. Can't come up with the catch, though. I guess baited it. You know, knew that counter would come. Almost got his hands on it, but just couldn't keep it. Oh! And almost another catch. Just a little bit bobbled. Trying to keep his hands solid on that, but good effort. Very good effort.
And I like the idea from Metzler there. I mean, you're the last player left against multiple opponents. Going for a catch is one of the best ways to try and swing things back a little more into your team's favor.
Absolutely it is. Like, it's helpful to have that second person there. There's something about being alone on a court that just kind of gets you in a different mindset, right? Like, it's something about even having comments coming onto the court from your teammates. It becomes very personal, right? It's not a team thing; it's a me thing. So having that, being the last one is a different mentality than something like a 5-on-2.
Hey, you go from a lot of team play and team structure to very individual play. Obviously, different people like to approach those one-on-many situations differently. And you see Snow attacking the huddle, drawing in a throw, and then Estabrooks, I think that shot was popped up and caught. And fortuitous bounce for Team Argentina. I think they didn't see that a player was already on his way out.
Yeah, that was just a little bit of confusion there.
So now Argentina 6 strong, 4 balls to the line. And they connect with Renican.
Yeah, it looked like he almost had a catch on that. He had his hands on it, but just couldn't keep it.
And we saw a diving effort from some of Team Argentina to save a ball on a ricochet, I believe. But yeah, that is going to be an out on Metzler, and I couldn't see who his teammate was who was diving for it, but I like the effort.
Nice. Oh, he did get tagged there.
Yeah.
Okay, 4-on-3.
Razabel just tagged on the foot, it looked like, as he tried to swing it out of the way.
Yeah. Oh, big shot. Gets over the blocking ball again. He's made a couple of those now.
Yeah, Snow absorbing that shot to the head area.
Yeah.
But luckily with these foam balls, even if it doesn't feel comfortable to get tagged with them, it's not like it really hurts or does lasting damage the vast majority of the time.
I don't know. I've been hit by some of the American players in the face, and it hurts. It's not fun. I don't recommend it.
So would you say you have suffered lasting damage?
Mostly in my ego. That's where most of the damage is. Let's see what this Argentina side can do here. I think they have 3 players in the court against 3 of the Canadian side. You know, this is going to be we already talked earlier about, last year it was 21-1. Right, this year it's 12-3. Right, this is a major step up in terms of performance against a veteran Canadian team with players that have won gold medals, and last year took 3rd.
I believe so.
One of the two.
And as you said, like Canada, consistently one of those top 4 nations. So anytime you can, I mean, even if the points haven't been there, even if Argentina hasn't been able to close them out as reliably as the Canadians, they've been pretty close. Like this is a 3-on-3.
Yeah.
And that's a decent place to be going into the home stretch of this match. I think we have about 7.5 minutes, remaining.
And once again, once you get down to these like 3-on-3 moments, the game's going to slow down a lot. Every player can hold onto a blocking ball essentially. Not a lot of open targets to hit. You know, the pace of things changed drastically at this point. A lot of your opening hits are, you know, who do you want to get in the catch queue, and then who do you want to face in the end game.
Wow.
Big shot.
Right on the foot. And that is going to send Altamirano over to the queue.
That was like a 50-foot foot shot. That was nuts.
We see players from a few different areas in Canada out now. Zanke playing out of Toronto, connecting on that one. Andrew Sick on the left side, playing out of Ottawa, Ontario. And Martin Dutil in the middle, plays in Quebec. And yeah, that time it looks like we saw the connection on Andrew Sick. And hey, big surprise. Rezignata, the last one left.
Rezignata gets tagged on the side though. Once again, that Canadian play of just charging down when they get too close. Looks like it's once they get to about the check line that they just start rushing.
I also like what Rezignata did there. I think he wasn't sure if the ball that did hit him was a clean hit or not, so he did the right thing, looked over to the refs for a confirmation, and then headed off to the side.
Yeah. Good on him. Once again, he's been very composed. I've been liking his play a lot.
Yeah, we see that elusiveness coming out from him. And now we're going to see the speed from the Argentinian side, starting things off here.
We've got about 6 minutes and 45 seconds left in this match. Time hasn't started on the screen, but you know, we're still just about 6 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah, we see those initial throws missing the mark, but Snow and Estabrook staying up high to put pressure on the Team Argentina attack, and that attack from Snow turns into a hit on him, and I believe as well, yeah, that was a 1-for-1. Norberto Tavella knocked out as well.
Only one ball on the Canadian side, though. Let's see if the Argentinians can capitalize on it. And a shot coming from the Canadian side, nailing the backline player.
And I think that, like I said earlier, that's something that Canada's been doing more often. When they have that last ball and they feel like the other team is committing to their throws, they'll take that shot regardless.
Yeah, no, it's a play that works for sure. If you just send that player up and throw, typically you get multiple players trying to counter you, and you're essentially trying to force a one-on-one trade in a situation where they might get more than one. So kind of forcing the hand of the other team again in a situation that you really don't have control over. But you're saying, we'll give you this, but we're going to try to take that as well.
Yeah, trying to exert whatever control they actually can. But now we see Argentina with 4 players to Canada's 3. They recover that ball, but I think, yeah, big strike.
Gap, though.
Yeah, as Altamirano went up for the ball, he was taken out. Canada now on the offensive, and they do not connect. I think they were doing what they can to protect that ball that was on the Argentina side, but up close to the center line. But this time, I think that was Ruiz coming up for it.
Right. Where's that 4th ball? You see it? No.
Yeah.
No, there it is.
There were 2 in hand on the left side. Maybe a little hard to see from up here.
Oh, got it. That makes more sense now.
You know, 3-on-3. That other ball gets picked up.
Look for a shot on this middle. Oh, never mind.
And a team catch made. And I think the question might be again about just a little bit of timing, but that looked like a clean team catch to me.
Yeah, that definitely was.
Oliva.
Heads up play, literally.
Yeah, Oliva went low and forced that ball to pop up. And now we see, yeah, that's another out, it looks like, for Tavella. He was either hit or might have collided with that sideline a bit. We see a good.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of what it looked like he suggested.
So we're down to 2-on-2. And, close call. But Oliva manages to stay in bounds with some good core strength. And they go toward Waddingham. And we just see on those counter attempt, missing the mark. That was San Felipe trying to find the mark. Ooh, big throw from Oliva, missing. And that shot from Waddingham bouncing before it finds the mark. That one going a little wide. And we're still on 2 for 2. Oliva throwing and connects on Estabrook. So just Kyle Waddingham playing out of London, Ontario.
Oh, okay. I thought he connected on that cross court, but I guess not. Might have just got blocking ball.
And we see Argentina coming to the line. They've got the edge now.
Doesn't help that we're like 100 feet away from,
Oliva takes the shot, skipping it a little bit low. Waddingham absorbs. No, that one sounded like it might have grazed his hair.
Okay, good integrity there. That'll make it 13-4. Canada, Argentina. Nope.
Still plenty of enthusiasm from the Argentinian contingent here. The women on the front lines of the fan section cheering on the men's team.
There we go. Okay, 2 minutes and 45 seconds in this second half. Let's see if the Argentinians can get another game on the board.
Off the rush, both teams getting there in similar speed, but Dutil hit out and then Zanke as well. So
got 2.
Some strong rush play so far from Argentina.
Yeah. This team is looking good. They're looking a lot more composed now too, which is nice than they were early in the match. So I'm liking this team.
And
stepped out.
Yeah, Metzler heading off to the side. He'll be first in the queue if this team can make a catch. And we see a shot coming from the back line that does not find the mark there. So Argentina with the extra balls, going to head back onto the offensive.
5-on-4. Let's see what the Canadian side can do here to get that man advantage again. Just about 2 minutes left in this second half. Clock isn't moving on your screen, but it is still moving, just so everyone at home knows. Send us your questions. We'll have a little bit of a break. Big shot on the side. I'm going to check out the live stream during the break between this and no block.
Yeah, Snow knocked out there on the shot. Coming from the corner, Razabel connecting. And Canada down to only 2 now. Ranikan and Tom Singh. Teammates on Rampage this past year, competing in the Canadian national competition. Ranikan snapping a shot off and making a grab. Ranikan showing off his offense and his defense. Nice play on his part. And now Canada back to 3-on-3. Argentina with the extra ball is going to be on them to throw. You see the shots where Tom Singh missing. Ranikan looking for a catch. Gets tagged. Tom Singh going low on his back. Gets those hands up in case he was going to have a chance to make a catch. But Argentina now with that player edge coming up to the line. Tom Singh with a good clean block. And now Canada with the extra ball is going to be... they're going to need to attack and not get countered here.
Yeah, this is... Argentina's going to call the timeout here, or is this the Canadian side?
My guess is that was Canada, but I missed the signal.
Either way, both sides, you only get 2 timeouts per half. So, getting down to the wire here. Just about 28 seconds left. So we'll see what they want to do. They want to, try to force no block and tackle it that way, or do they want to go into try to nail it here and then get another game in? Right? If you can end it in 27 seconds, still a second left, they have to start a whole new game, no matter how much time is left. Let's see how they approach this. We'll be able to tell pretty quickly too, by the way, they're posturing. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess both sides are gonna be a little bit aggressive, try to get 1 point in and then be able to start something that leads to sudden death. I think both of these teams tend to play their best when they're feeling like they're confident and aggressive with their play. And kind of as we've seen before, Team Argentina likes to actually huddle during these breaks. The whole group, some coaching from the sideline as well as the ball retrievers. Whereas Team Canada, they get a few words in there, but then the players just kind of like to stay at the back line and stay loose, get ready.
Okay, looks like we're going to continue now. The timeout's over. Let's see what these teams want to do here. 4 balls in hand for Canada. Bet you if they only throw 1, they're going to try to force no block. If they throw 2, they're looking to close it out. Okay. My bet is they're trying to close it out.
Well, we saw that shot from Patricio Sanfilippo missing. Well, but that one connects. That was Waddingham finding the mark. But Isabella knocked out. 2-on-2. Tom Singh lines up and connects.
Do it.
Yep. Also a big step out of bounds there, unfortunately, at the back line.
Literally 1 second left on the clock. We're going to have to play another game.
Exactly. At the international level, WDBF rules say that if there is any time on the clock when the point ends, you will start the next point, even if it is 1 second. I think in this case it looks like it might have been 4 seconds.
Yeah.
But yeah, we will start the play, and kind of as we saw at the end of the first half, there will be some quickness off the opening rush, and then potentially, well, I mean, definitely we'll be heading to sudden death after that with no blocking allowed.
Yeah, so once again, once time runs out and no block begins, when no block begins, each team starts with 3 balls. That's why at the end of the 20 minutes, you'll see most teams just launch those balls in hopes to dwindle numbers before you go into the next one, because you're going to get those balls back anyway. So look for these next 4 seconds to be chaotic, to say the least.
I think that's probably fair. And on the rush, Canada playing it a bit defensively this time. And they do lose Dutil.
Okay, it's going to be 6-on-5 going in the no block. Advantage to Argentina.
And we haven't seen this a lot, but a ball coming onto the main court from, I guess that's just a warm-up behind. But yeah, it looks like the matches on the other courts have completed. This is the long one this time, but we'll see how long this sudden death goes.
Yeah, interesting change just from last year to this year is the 5 to 10 minute break between halves. I think last year was substantially shorter. Gotta be good for the teams. Get that breath of air.
I think good for the event organizers as well. Just allows for things like if a match goes longer than other matches, or if there is difficulty with the court, anything like that. It just gives that much extra time for the event staff to take care of it.
What do you think? Do you think there's a different pressure for those that are on the live stream court than there is for the other courts?
I think once the match starts, most players kind of forget about which court they're on and just focus on what's on the court in front of them.
Ooh, big shot, nails the foot of number 22.
Yeah, Estabrooks lost as well, so it's going to be a 1-for-1 with Lorenzo Ramos getting knocked out.
Yeah, what a foot shot there.
Let's see some of the Canadians dropping their balls and looking for potential catches. Looks like a back line hit. Oh, Tom Singh dropping a potential catch. Waddingham.
Good movement here by both sides, making their throw and then getting the dodge in at the same time.
Yeah, sometimes that's what you have to do. You know the other team's going to look to attack you once you have let go of that ball, and we see another 1-for-1. Waddingham knocked out on the Canadian side, and Oliva knocked out on the Argentinian side. But Argentina with a 3-on-2 player edge. We see on Drusic willing to take that shot from the back. And now only Zanke on Canada has a ball in hand.
Yeah, reminder that any ball thrown is a reset on the count.
And Drusic with the catch. Zanke knocked out on the other side, though, so now Dutil on by himself against one from Argentina. Dutil missing. And we're going to see how it goes on the 1-for-1. We got a center line scramble, and there's a shot on the foot.
Takes it. 14-5. Argentina takes the final game. What a play.
And you can see how excited the team and their fans are. Even if it was a loss for the team, I think anytime you can end on a pretty hype moment, it's good for your team going forward into future matches.
Yeah, that was a great ending for them, right? They ended with that momentum. They're going to take that excitement going into the next game. Right? We talked about it. They're a team of passion, and they wear that emotion on their sleeve. you know, they found their composure in the second half. I'd say a lot more than that first half, and you know, a lot of sportsmanship right now going through the huddle. So, yeah, good match overall. I'm happy to see this Argentina team showing a lot of progress from where they were last year.
As we said, that's a very different scoreline from, what, 20-1 or 21-1 last year?
Yeah,
so
21-1.
Substantial progress. We saw some really tight play, I'd say, from both sides. Some good scrambles from both teams, able to connect with their athleticism when the action got chaotic.
What was the player's name? The one who was doing great. That's like slipping my mind right now because I am somewhere else.
Well, that was, yeah, Resignata, probably
Resignata, there we go.
the MVP for us on the Argentinian side. So we're going to take a little break, and I think you're going to hear from us on this court again coming up soon. So once this match is over, we're going to see the players clearing the court, the staff making sure that everything on the court is back to normal. And coming up next here, you're going to see on the men's side Australia and Malaysia. We'll be back with you soon.